Hello, everyone. This is Jesse here with Cauterized Media. It's been a little bit since I've released a video. I've had some computer issues going on. I had to replace my CPU fan recently and, a couple other bullshit things. But I'm here now, guys. I'm fucking back. And I have a review for you guys. In past videos, I mentioned that I would do a review on Suicide Silence's latest release, Suicide Silence. So, yep, they went with the self-titled name, of course, as most of you know. And yeah, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this, I'm going to break the song down into multiple ratings, and then I'm going to give it an overall rating. And basically I'm going to be looking at production, songwriting, and overall content, overall album value. So I'm going to rate everything pretty much on a 1 to 10 basis. Obviously 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. So I'm going to choose 5 songs, and we're not going to listen to the entirety of them, but we are going to listen to the key points of them, and I'm going to just explain, the feeling and whatnot. I'm going to skip Doris in Silence because those songs have been, like everyone, they were the first 2 singles that came out. Everyone knows what's good with them. I'm going to start by saying, this album had a very shocking sound, especially to anyone that's a fan of Suicide Silence's older music. Definitely a complete 180. There's a couple songs on this album where their classic Suicide Silence sound is still there, just a little bit. It's like in bursts. So I do have to say that this album isn't totally trash. It's by no stretch of the imagination good, in my opinion, though. But it's not the worst thing ever. So I have a favorite song off this album, and it's not really one of my favorite songs, like, ever, but it's literally, like, if I had to choose, if someone put a gun in my head and said, choose a song off this album, that's your favorite song. For me, it would be Don't Be Careful, You Might Hurt Yourself, because that song is mostly heavy. It's mostly consistent with itself, and its heaviness, and it's got that trademark Suicide Silence sound. And then there's a part through the song where, the cleans come in. So I'm going to play Don't Be Careful. Now, I'm not going to play all of it, but as you guys can tell, so I'll go in a little bit. Right? Like, you kind of know what I mean by that Suicide Silence feel, right? The jump 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 jump, those kind of like chugs and bends or chugs and tremolo picking and stuff like that. Over a blast beat or like the kind of beat that's being played right here. So, it sounds like Suicide Silence. The only thing that's really off to me at this point is the production, because the production of this album is not great. Actually, that's an understatement. It's pretty bad. And the mixing as well, not too great. But yeah, let's continue to listen to Don't Be Careful, You Might Hurt Yourself. Let's see where, the consistency stops. There it is, guys. Oh, hey guys, sorry, I'm just doing a vocal take real quick. Was that good, Ross? Good? All right, right on. Yeah, like, seriously, Eddie, whatever. I guess that's cool. So instantly, this song went from like, wow, okay, good. Thank God, like, they kept it like one fully heavy song on the album. Like, whatever, like, everything else sucks, but, there's this song. But no, not even that, guys. You won't even let the fans have the one fucking song that's just consistent. So yeah, again, Don't Be Careful, You Might Hurt Yourself. It's not bad. That's kind of what ruins it, honestly. The outro is kind of weird, too. Kind of this weird effect thing. Maracas and shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. So that's the best song on the album. If I had to give that song on its own a 1 out of 10, I'd say 6. Maybe 5. 5 or 6, okay? It's not like total trash. but it's, you know, by no stretch of the imagination good. So I'm gonna go to another song that I thought was not the worst. I believe is "Hold Me Up, Hold Me Down." Wow, you know, that actually sounds really unique for Suicide Silence. I've never actually heard them sound like that before, especially not in their album before. No, that doesn't sound like this at all. No way, this doesn't sound like this at all. This is proof that these guys are lazy fucking musicians, and they say they're trying to put out the best shit that they can put out. They say they're trying to be as creative as can be. They're saying they're trying to, you know, Eddie's already said a bunch of times. I got an article actually pull up here, because like no matter what, he comes up with an excuse. So we don't need people to respect it. Yeah, you don't need people to respect it, but I mean, you kind of do if you want them to buy it, don't you? God, Eddie, like you're so... My ego doesn't need that. My ego's so big that, you know, I don't need you to respect it, you know. This album can just cruise off our egos alone, you know? Fuck you guys. Okay, and what's really sad about this album, first week sales, 4,600 copies, compared to You Can't Stop Me, which was 15,000 in the first week. 4,600 to 15,000. That's ridiculous. That's almost 4 times the amount. That's shit, right? Now, Hold Me Up, Hold Me Down, whatever, it's not great. We got a lot of vocals like that on this album. Yeah, shit like that. It just sounds like it's literally autistic screeching. Like that's what it sounds like. Eddie is autistically screeching all over this fucking album. Yeah, no, sorry, it's terrible. Fuck that song. Alright, now let's go to a song that I thought was literally the worst song of the album. For me, it was pretty much The Zero. Let's give it a little listen. Eddie's not a terrible singer, but like his voice just sounds so fucking wrong, just so off-putting in this whole album. You expect something cool to happen and you just hear like like he sings like such a bitch boy on this album. Like I know Eddie can sing better than this. Like I just know he can. Like I've seen videos of him singing before he was even in Suicide Silence. And, yeah, like, he can fucking sing. So, this, like, angsty, like, oh, I gotta sound really emo and angsty because we're emulating that 90s kind of style. Like, no, Eddie, just stop. Do some more modern kind of shit. You don't have to sing really fucking high and shit like most of the vocalists nowadays. Do something interesting. Do, like, your voice. Don't try to sound like other fucking vocalists. It's annoying. No one wants that shit. Can't even think to listen. Everything expires sometimes before its time. Wow, that delay on his vocals is really bad. It's annoying. It's too much. It's not subtle enough. It's just right in your face. It just sounds stupid. So one of my least favorite things about the production of this album, it's one of the things that makes me say like fuck this mix more than anything. It's the low end of the bass and how that blends with everything, because it doesn't really blend with everything. The low end of the bass kind of just fucks everything, you know what I mean? Like, instead of having a nice crisp low end that you can, you know, this has a nice good bass response, basically you have what sounds like a really flatted, fucking distorted, low sub frequencies that sound just like shit, like a filthy, dirty rumble. It fucks the mix. It, you know, it's cool. If this was 1994, like, it'd probably be cool. People would be like, oh, that's pretty good production. But it's not. It's 2017. Ross Robinson was a terrible fucking choice. He's so not your guys' style at all. And you guys just, for some reason, feel like you're part of that new metal camp just because those were your favorite bands growing up. It's stupid. Like, you have your own fans to fucking cater to, right? I'm not saying sell out, you know, everything you do just for your fans, you know, oh, well, we don't want to do this anymore, but the fans want it, so we're just going to listen to the fans. Like, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying have some sort of compromise, you know? Have some sort of let me meet you halfway kind of fucking thing. I think that's just a, like, responsible course of action to take. Yeah, that song's shit, and as you can tell, The Zero's not a good track. If you look at the reviews this fucking album got, let's see. So I got the Wikipedia page open up here. It says a couple. Exclaim. 1 out of fucking 10, man. 1 out of 10. Why did it get 1 out of 10 on Exclaim? Well, apparently Joe Smith Englehart gave the album 1 out of 10, comparing it to a garage band sloppily covering Korn and Deftones through a microphone they found in the dumpster. So this is literally like pretty much, not literally, but pretty much what I've been saying in the past couple videos about this shit. And that's before I listened to the full album. That's sad. As you can see, Metal Hammer 2.5 out of 5. Metal Sucks 3.5 out of 5. That's just because Metal Sucks always has to be the contrarian. Axel Rosenberg, fuck that guy, fuck that website. They're always the, oh, on the contrary, everyone else. We gotta just be contrarians. We gotta just fucking, like, fuck you, Metal Sucks. Rock Sins, I don't know, maybe these guys are new metal faggots because they gave it a 9 out of 10. But who, like, has ever heard of Rock Sins? Not me. Rock Sound, 4 out of 10. So most of these big, legitimate, you know, metal review sites and news sites, they're giving this album under a 5 out of 10. Like, that's fucked. Now, I'm just gonna play one more track here. I'm gonna do the track Run, because I thought this song was kind of interesting in a couple ways, but more disappointing in others. So let's check this song out a little bit. So that intro, it's heavy. It starts out with a distorted scream, which, in my opinion, doesn't sound that great. It would have just sounded better if he didn't distort the shit out of his vocals there to sound like he was going through a megaphone. Also, the guitar riff, I mean, you know, not really great. I mean, it's Suicide Silence, not fucking Rings of Saturn, so, I mean, you can't really blame him, but come on. Like, I don't know, these guys are like grown-ass men, and that's their, I don't know, that's the riff they wanted to create for you guys. Whatever. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying nothing special. So let's hear, let's go back to I'm sorry, it's something that so what's with that transition? Come on, you can't do any kind of like natural kind of transition to that. You just gotta be like, all right, stop. All right, guys, let's go. Come back in. Come back. Like, what the fuck? Oh, just why? Like, I don't get the like. We're going in heavy, guys. Like, let's fake them out. Yeah, this is our best album ever. We were born to make this album. We were born to make this album, guys. Yeah, no, you were actually not born to make this album. You just made it because you guys were stupid and you thought it would get you somewhere. And then when you realized it wouldn't, you were stubborn and you just decided to push it anyways. We were born to do this album. shut up. Like, that's just stupid. That's a stupid thing to say. That's just trying to deflect from how much heat you guys have on you now. You're just trying to fucking turn it around. So yeah, I mean, the song's shit. There's a couple. Let's you know, hold on. Let's give it more of a chance. And I don't expect it from you. I want you to know how I'm doing and where I've been, even though I already know, you know. I've been so low. Alright, I get the whatever. It's building up, which means it's gonna be heavy again, but these vocals are literally doing nothing for me. That chorus comes in so fucking weird and random. Like, there's nothing in that song that makes you think that that chorus is gonna sound anything like that. You know what I mean? There's no, like, musical cues. Like, it just, out of nowhere, just sounds fucked. Now, let me, like, go back to how that starts and kind of show you guys again. By the way, this chorus plays, like, 4 or 5 times in this song. I think 4. Maybe not 5. I don't know. I've listened to the song a few times, but really, I just try to sear it from my brain. But let's hear that slams in. I've been so what? Like, it just seems so, like, there's no, like, there shouldn't there be, like, a pre-chorus that's not that build-up, like a pre-chorus that starts doing some chords and shit, just so that chorus can seem more natural? I don't know. There should be better transitions in between those parts. What's with the singing here? Listen to the vocal effects. So there's tons of saturation on his voice. It just sounds cheesy to me. It doesn't sound like it's an effect that's actually adding to the song in a positive and meaningful way. It just kind of sounds like, hey, let's throw some distortion there, buddy, so we can sound like the 90s. Hashtag 90s. Like, come on. Like, what is this shit? To be fair, if you took the vocals right out and kind of just let this groove play out, maybe. Like, it's not that heavy, but it's got like a low groove to it. Really listen to the bass of this part. That's what I mean by the dirty rumble from Down Under. Normally, dirty rumbles are good. Like, having a nice kind of distorted bass is a good thing. But when the low end is the thing that's distorted, like, that's, you know, it's not that great. At least in my opinion. Like, you can hear the filthy, slappy bass and it clashing with everything, right? Like, the high end of it, the distorted part of it. So yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Actually, let's give it a little bit more. The song is basically pretty repetitive after that. Like, nothing really new gets added to this song. See this build up again. Shitty chorus again. Oh yeah, here's where it changes. Yeah, breakdown that's not even interesting. So, I mean, you guys can kind of feel this album kind of, the direction it's going in. I'm gonna assume that everyone that's watching this video has already heard Doris, Silence, and Dying in a Red Room, because those are the singles that are out, or whatever. You can even just find this full album stream. Someone just posted it up here. Look how many dislikes it fucking has, even for just someone that just posted it up on their own volition for whoever wants to listen to it. It's still got fucking more dislikes than fucking likes. I mean, come on, guys. I'm just gonna put on, let's do Listen, I guess. By the way, just to say, I am doing this kind of in a random order. I kind of figured this review would be better if I kind of just did it comfortably without having to, you know, memorize what did I write down exactly for, like, you know, I've already listened to this album a few times. I actually downloaded it on my phone, so I've been listening to it making notes, mental notes, and yeah, that's how I'm reviewing this thing. You know, I'm not. Some people are really spreadsheety, like, oh, you know, and they'll give you like a whole synopsis, and they'll fucking give you all the you know, you don't need that with this album. Trust me, you don't need to go that in depth with this album. All you need to do is literally listen to Doris in silence and Dying in a Red Room, and you know what to expect on this album. The only song that surprised me was Don't Be Careful, You Might Hurt Yourself, because 60 to 70% of that song is heavy. Pretty good, right? 60 to 70%, compared to all Suicide Silence's songs before, which are like 90 to 95 to 100%, So yeah, so it's still a downgrade from all their other shit, but it's the best song on the album. So let's do Listen, though, next. Try that one out. That's what I mean with the bass. Did you hear it? Hold on, just you'll feel that dirty rumble as soon as the rhythm comes in. Right there, right at 920. Like, it sounds like shit. Like, who mixed that like that? Who decided that this album should be tracked live in the first place? It could have sounded so much fucking better. And you know what? I think a lot of people's percentage points for their reviews would have gone up. You know, maybe a star, maybe a half a star or a star, maybe even 2. If the production was just done normally, or get someone who knows how to make a nice, clean sounding record, like Joey Sturgis or fucking Eyal Levy or Joel Wanasek, or there's all kinds of fucking people who could have made this album, even though it's a piece of shit musically, who could have just made it sound good, but it doesn't. It could have, it doesn't. The song sounds like shit. I don't know, man. To me, like, just someone screaming over, like, bass, like an atmospheric bass thing like that, like, sorry, like, that's the most overdone thing ever, right? Like, you just, I don't know. I know you guys think you're doing shit that's different for you, but it's not different for, like, people that have been listening to music for more than 15, 20 years, you know? So drums here are kind of boring. I feel like this could be better if he wasn't doing like a double snare hit and shit and just trying to make it sound extra funky even though it doesn't need that. And Eddie's vocals are pretty greasy, man. It sounds like he's regressed in his vocal skill, and I don't know if that's because he's actually just regressed and he's not practicing as much, or he's like whatever, or if he's just like literally just trying to do that style and he's like, oh well, I'll just make it sound shittier because that's what all the cool kids like. Yeah, no one likes that, Eddie. People like when you actually try harder and sound better. Or maybe it's the live aspect. Maybe it's the tracking live in a room and doing that shit. Who knows? But Eddie's vocals are weak. They've been stronger on every single All Shall Perish album. Even on the last Suicide Silence album, they destroyed the vocals on this album. And effects like that really bother the shit out of me. Like, Eddie, you're not fucking like Manson, dude. Like, what are you trying to do, man? So another generic kind of like metal, gory kind of whatever riff, you know, just chun 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 chun, and the drums are kind of taking it in strides. Whatever, the drums are kind of lame. The guitar's lame in this song too. This song is actually just lame as fuck, man. So take me along through the this part here, it's kind of interesting because it's something different and it's something kind of unique. They're doing some kind of like cool like little tremolo thing on like a clean guitar, and it's panned right. I'm getting in my right headphone, and then hold on. The perfect storm will never be good enough. Yeah, so it's just kind of panned out. I guess the other guitar's doing something on this side. It's kind of hard to tell. Show me the torment. Yeah, there's like a lead guitar doing some ambient shit on this side, and then there's some kind of like plucking, like tick it, tick it, tick it. You guys can hear it, right? So it's kind of cool, actually. I thought like if this album has any improvement over any Suicide Silence album, there is some cool stuff happening lead wise and melody wise in the lead guitar and rhythm guitar. And not always, because most songs honestly are just dog shit when in guitar writing. But there's a couple little things here and there that you're like, oh, well, that's kind of a treat. Like, you know, you didn't think Mark could do that, or oh, look at that, Garz is actually like doing something that's not shit. Right on, like. But this part specifically though gets overplayed, of course, and boring. So take me along. And the vocals here, you notice how I didn't even say anything about them? Do I even need to? Eddie just sounds like a drunken retard yelling over just like a fucking 90s fucking song, I don't know. Through the torrential clouds. Listen to him there again, come on. That's... Constructed inside. So take me along through the torrential clouds. Through the torrential clouds. Sounded stupid there. The perfect storm will never be good enough. Show me the torment constructed inside. It almost sounded like you said, show me the toilet. I'm already being shown the toilet right here. The perfect storm will never be good enough. This is probably one of the cringiest vocal parts in this whole album, actually. That whole like 15 seconds or whatever. Show me the torment constructed inside. Constructed inside. Okay, so this part coming up, this is probably the coolest part of the song. Probably actually the coolest little part in the whole album, to be honest with you. Here it is. Like, what's that? A blast beat and rhythm guitars doing something heavy and then an actual solo? I didn't know nu metal bands had solos. Or did blast beats. Isn't that fucking crazy? I didn't know 90s nu metal bands did that stuff. That's crazy. You know, it's kind of short-lived because it kind of starts to get sucky now. You know, it's at first it comes in like, oh, whoa, cool, blast beat, yeah, nice. Back to this part from the beginning. The guitars sound like shit, and so does the bass. Clearly, like, listen to that. Ew. So take me along through the torrential clouds. The effect on his vocals is the best sounding effect I've ever heard, guys. That's literally the best effect I've ever heard on any single vocal in any metal album ever. I'm serious. Listen to it. I'm serious. I'm fucking serious, okay? You don't think I'm fucking serious? You think I'm fucking lying to you? You think I'm lying about that? Listen. The perfect storm will never be good enough. You see that? You got a little angry there too, okay? I'm about to get fucking angry too. If you guys don't fucking take me fucking goddamn seriously and fucking trust me that that's the fucking coolest effect I've ever goddamn heard. Show me the torment constructed inside. Constructed inside. Take me along. No, actually, it's dog shit. Fuck this. This album's dog shit. Like, there's not much more to say than that. Production-wise, I gave this album a 4 out of 10. I thought Ross Robinson was not the guy to do this. He doesn't understand Suicide Silence. their fan base. He doesn't understand, how they would connect best with their own fans. He doesn't get any of that shit. So why are you guys putting him in charge of producing your brand new album? Just because you're fanboying over him because he did Korn's album in 1994? Like, come on. Who gives a shit? So yeah, sorry, production, bad. That live recording was a bad idea. The mix is bad too. So I'm gonna give production 4 out of 10. It's bad, but it's like, I guess it's just passable to, like, you can listen to it. Like, it doesn't sound like, black metal. So I guess all the black metal people are gonna get butthurt now. It doesn't sound like some shitty, underproduced, garbage black metal that is out there. But it sounds pretty bad. Like, the guitars I was showing you ringing out, they sound like shit. The mix is not very well balanced. The best parts of the mix are, I'd probably just say the drums are the best single sounding thing in the mix. The blend is okay, like the balance is alright, but the low end is fucked with the bass, I think. And then the vocals, with all their processing just thrown on fucking top of everything, it just sounds like shit. In terms of songwriting, and I'm looking, throughout the overall album, I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. And originally I was like 2. It's gonna be like a 2 out of 10, maybe 3. I had an idea to do it as a 3, but I'm saying 4 because there are a couple, like, redeemable things, and, don't be careful, you might hurt yourself. If that clean was taken out of the song, you know what, fuck that, leave the clean. If it was just produced better, I would probably, like, not mind just listening to the song, having it in a playlist. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. And, Hold Me Up, Hold Me Down has some redeeming qualities, a couple. Listen has just that one little bit, so whatever. 4 out of 10, I think is a fair review. In terms of how these guys marketed the album and how they dealt with fans and how they teased things and all that stuff, basically just their press for this album, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. It was dog shit. You guys treated your fans like shit, basically insulting their intelligence, basically saying that if you don't like this, well, whatever, you're an immature little deathcore kid and you don't understand, like, real music. You don't understand. We tracked in a real live room because we're real musicians, right? They're just being very condescending and shit. So, regarding all that, 1 out of 10 for how you marketed your album. It was terrible. And yeah, overall, my full and final album review is going to be just 4 out of 10. And just basically just a big steaming poop pile. It's sad, It's sad to see a Suicide Silence album, a band that I fucking have loved for years. It's sad to just see them so utterly just fucking defeated and just fucking making just disappointing fucking music. It's just sad to see, because this is a band that people would be fucking hyped about. Even when after Mitch Lucker died and You Can't Stop Me was coming out, and it was found out that Suicide Silence wasn't breaking up, they're still going, and everyone was like, holy shit. So many people were excited. People bought the Mitch Lucker memorial show. I bought that as well. Proceeds went to Mitch's daughter that he left behind, obviously. And yeah, I guess it went to help her through school, something like that. But that's besides the point. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is Suicide Silence had a lot of support after Mitch died. And hearing that, when Eddie was going to take the reins, like, when I first heard that, I was like, wow, I'm actually really excited. Like, I was just like, wow, like, I love All Shall Perish. Eddie is a crazy vocalist, so this is just gonna be sick. Like, I was just pumping myself up so much. You Can't Stop Me came out, and it disappointed me. Not nowhere near the caliber of how this album disappointed me. But, I thought You Can't Stop Me should have been a little bit heavier, and the writing in it was a little lazy for a couple things. It was a little, it was a little underwhelming. But other than that, if I had to rate that album, I'd say maybe 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, maybe 7 on a good day for You Can't Stop Me. But this album, man, 4 out of 10. I like this band. Like, these guys, I thought these guys were really fucking cool, and I still do. Like, I'm sure they're cool dudes, but this album, they're all acting like asses because of this album, because they're trying to prove something. They don't want to look like idiots now, even though they do. They're trying to just downplay that and distract from that as much as possible. So whatever. I say let them. The album sales have already fucking, decided. Their fans, they've already decided what was going on too. You see any fucking song off this album on YouTube, it's got more dislikes than likes. So in conclusion, this was my very first song review. Expect there to be more, and expect the process to be more refined as I go on, of course, because this is my first one. If you guys have any suggestions on ways I could do shit differently, or whatever, just let me know and I'll try my best to accommodate that. And yeah, what do you think? Do you think this album deserves a 4 out of 10 rating? Do you think it deserves lower, higher? Let me know. And please hit the like button if you enjoy this video. Please subscribe. This is Jesse Furtado, and peace out, motherfuckers.